well versed now in the power of video marketing and the unique way that it allows you to make an impact on your audience and followers, and combine that with the fact that YouTube is the internet's second largest search engine, and you can see the opportunities it provides you and your business to grow your visibility, awareness, and build a community of potential clients and customers who trust you. Now, I do admit that YouTube marketing can be a little bit intimidating. So in this talk, we're going to walk through the 5 steps that you need to take to accelerate the growth of your YouTube channel. Now, done the right way, I don't think there is any industry that YouTube can't work for. So let's dive in. Now, the first step is to research your topics. Now, one of the biggest mistakes YouTubers make is having an idea of a video, something they'd really like to talk about, just jumping right in and recording the video without ever checking that there's even a demand for that topic. Now, if there's no demand for how to plait a ferret's eyebrows, if nobody's typing those words, that phrase, into search, then you've potentially created a video about plaiting a ferret's eyebrows for nothing. So this is a really, really crucial step. But here's the other thing. It works the other way around too. So if what you want to create a video about has too much competition, if there's so much demand that loads of other YouTubers, huge channels out there, have already got in there first, then that's also a problem, albeit one that can be worked around, and we'll come on to that in a little bit more detail later on. But first, let's have a look at how to find out if there is indeed a demand for a topic on YouTube. Now, the first point of call is the autofill function of the YouTube search bar. It's not only a great way to find endless topic ideas, but it's one of the best ways to see if there's a demand for a topic that you want to create a video on. And I'm going to show you how it works right now.
Say, for example, we wanted to create a video and we knew we wanted to create it around adding captions to YouTube videos. So I might start typing in how to add captions. And so you can see that we have got an option here for how to add captions to YouTube video. We've got how to add captions to videos, but we're also given lots of other ideas, such as how to add captions on iMovie, how to add captions to YouTube videos on your phone. So start picking through some of these and selecting them. And if you have the TubeBuddy extension installed, which I do, and again in the resources section I'll link to how to do that and where you can do that. But on the free version you will still get this search explorer bar coming up down here, and you can see the search volume and you can see what competition you've got as well. So you're getting into the yellow area here, 52 out of 100, which is okay, but you might want to start experimenting a little bit and see, so how do we score for YouTube subtitles? How to add subtitles or captions to YouTube videos on iPhone, for example, and compare and contrast, and we can see that's just slightly better. So it's a great way of experimenting with different keywords and phrases and find out what there's the most search volume for, and what there's the optimum amount of competition for as well.
Now, I have a handout sheet for you to download, which has all of the useful resources on that I'm going to mention in this talk. Now, on there's a link to a full video that I've done on my YouTube channel. It's all about getting ideas for your videos and walking you through the things that we've just been talking about here, and how to find out whether there's actually a demand for the topics that you're wanting to create videos about. Now, the next step, step number 2, is optimizing your videos. So now you're confident that there's a demand for the topic you want to create a video around. That's fantastic. The next step is to get your videos optimized. Now, part of this comes before you've even scripted, planned, or recorded your video. And optimizing your videos is what's going to make sure that your videos rank in search results and that YouTube suggests them as well. So the first step in optimizing your videos is to find a focus keyword or phrase. And this keyword or phrase is then going to dictate everything that follows on, from the angle you take when you talk in your video about your topic, how you script your video, what the title of your video is even, and so much more. So let's look at an example.
So making sure you're on Google Chrome, let's have a look at how to use the TubeBuddy Keyword Explorer to find the best keywords and key phrases for your videos. So once you've got the TubeBuddy extension installed, you'll see up here in the top right the icon here, and we go down to Keyword Explorer. Say we're doing a video on how to cook a chicken. That might be the first obvious keyword or phrase that we think of, and we decide to explore that. So it's thinking about it, and we can see that that's fair. So the keyword is obviously quite competitive, but there is a decent amount of search volume. But I think we can get a much better score than this. I always try to get into the yellow, ideally into the green sections here. So how could we change this and niche it down to maybe be a little bit more specific and maybe see if we can get a better opportunity for a higher scoring keyword? So I might try and put how to cook a roast chicken, not a road chicken. Okay, getting better. So this is very good. I'd be happy to use this as the 63 out of 100. Let's see if we could niche it down even further. You may not be able to, but maybe how to cook a roast chicken in the oven, for example. Not as good. 50 out of 100. But you see how it's worth just experimenting with the wording, playing around with the order of the words, really just thinking about being a little bit more descriptive, specific, niching it down, and seeing how good you can get that score. And honestly, guys, once you start using TubeBuddy Keyword Explorer, it's quite addictive. Sounds really sad to say it, but it's something that I really enjoy now. It's part of the whole process that I used to dread, keyword research, and now using this, because it's quite visual, I really, really enjoy, and I think you're going to really enjoy the process too.
Now, once you've found a keyword or phrase with a good score, it's time to use it. So first of all, once you've found this keyword phrase, make sure that the way that you approach your topic in the video is aligned with the keyword or phrase that you've chosen. For example, there's no point choosing the keyword or phrase how to cook a chicken because it scores really well, but then doing a video about cooking roast beef. One of the most important places to get your keyword in is your title. So most of my videos on my YouTube channel have the actual keyword I've chosen forming either the whole of my title or sometimes the first portion of my title, and then I tag a little bit more on the end. It's up to you how you do it. But next you want to make sure that your keyword is in the description of your video too. Ideally as close to the start of the description as you possibly can. Try and weave it in naturally so that your description still reads well, but try and get it in at the start. Next up, tags. Now, tag research for YouTube is a key step in making sure that your videos are optimized and that you're giving them the best chance of being found in search and in suggested videos as well. So what exactly are tags? Well, tags are words and phrases, quite simply, that are used to give YouTube context about a video, and they help the algorithm work out what your video is about and what it contains, so it knows who best to serve the video to. Now, when you upload a video, you'll see the tags section where you add your tags in the YouTube studio. So let's look at exactly how to choose the right tags for your video. Now, it's so important for any video that the first thing you do is choose your focus keyword or phrase that video is based around and optimized for. And I've got loads more about how to do this in a playlist that I've created on my YouTube channel, and there's a link to that in the handout. But basically, your chosen keyword is going to form the basis and starting point for choosing your tags. Now, your focus keyword should be the very first tag. And why? Well, that's because YouTube does put more weight on those tags that appear first. So now you've got your primary keyword or phrase at the beginning of your tags, you'll want to add some more tags that complement that keyword and give YouTube even more information as to what your video is about, and to give it some more valuable information so that they can serve it in suggested and as search results. So you can use all sorts of different tools for this. I tend to use TubeBuddy, but there's also great tools such as vidIQ and Morning Fame. So let's have a look at how I do it.
So I've just created this video on should I hire a channel manager? Now this whole title, this keyword phrase here is actually my keyword phrase. So I researched this phrase and it had a good enough score, and then I decided to use that as my keyword phrase, but actually as my title, which I do quite often. So if we then scroll down to the bottom here, this is the area where you can add your tags. Now, if you have the TubeBuddy extension installed, which I highly recommend you do, it makes it so much easier to do your tag research and to add your tags. In fact, it's so simple, it's at the click of a button. Now, there is a free version of the TubeBuddy plugin, which gives you some of these tags, but it doesn't give you all. So that's just one caveat. As you can see, I've got sort of almost an endless list here of suggested tags that TubeBuddy is suggesting to me because they are the best tags to use. So basically, it allows me just at the click of a button here to add in the tags that I want, and I'm going to make sure that they're relevant to my video. So for example, channel manager, this first one, it is relevant. Obviously that is something, it's got a score next to it and it's been suggested that people are searching for, and it's relevant to my video, so it's worth me having that as one of my tags. So if I just literally click the little arrow there, it will automatically add it in for me. And then I just simply go through each of these, adding the ones that are relevant. So how to add managers to your YouTube channel, not necessarily too relevant, but YouTube Manager would be relevant again, for example. So it's really worth adding the TubeBuddy extension for this function alone. If you are on the free version and you only get a few of them suggested, you can use the Keyword Explorer tool, as we have already seen, again to explore different tags. So should I hire a YouTube channel manager? And then if you look down here at common video tags, you may get some more suggested here. So go through and simply just click on which ones are relevant. So for example, just selecting this one for example, click on there, action, and then insert into current video, and it adds the tag in for you.
Now you'll also want to add in some other tags such as your name or your channel name, and this is so that YouTube can link your current video with more of your own videos so that they can suggest more of the content on your channel. And remember, it's not all about top ranking tags, it's about giving YouTube the right information to help the algorithm serve your video to the right people. Now we're on to step number 3, repurpose and promote. Now in an ideal world, we'd hit publish on our YouTube videos, sit back and watch the view count and subscriber numbers soar. But unfortunately, unless you already have a huge subscriber base, there's quite a lot of hard work to be done once a video's been published to get it seen. So we're going to look at a few ways you can repurpose and promote your YouTube videos. So one thing you can do is create a blog from each video, and here's a quick video about how I repurpose each of my videos into a blog. This is how I create my blogs. So it's a full standalone piece of written content that people can consume. They wouldn't necessarily have to watch the YouTube video, but I make sure that I embed the YouTube video into each blog that I create, and people can actually watch that video there on my website. But the great thing about this is that people are spending time on your website, but every time that somebody views that YouTube video, regardless of the fact that they're watching on your website, it actually counts towards your views on YouTube as well. The next way to repurpose is to send out an email to your email list. Now, if you're actively building an email list, a great thing to do is send an email broadcast every time or thereabouts you publish a video to tell them about the new video. Now, when I do this, I really notice a boost in the views every time I do it, and we do the same for clients too. And they all, especially those with a really loyal email list, see a huge increase in traffic to that new video once that email blast has gone out. Now, really important, remember to do this within the first 24 hours of your new video going live. That magic 24-hour slot is so important because YouTube puts so much weight on what happens in that time and uses that data to judge how popular your video is, and therefore how many other people it should suggest it to. So next up, promote your videos on Instagram. Now, Instagram and YouTube go together like crackers and cheese. Here's some ways I promote my videos in my Instagram feed. So for example, I let people know when a new video is due to be released, and I'll tell people about the new video, making sure that I'm using relevant hashtags. I also make quite a lot of use of Instagram stories to tell people about new videos, but also to get people engaged by asking them questions. I use the polls feature, graphics, animations, anything I can do to make it more engaging. And make sure that you update the link in your bio each time you do a new video to get those Instagram followers over to your YouTube channel. Now I have a full video on my channel all about promoting your videos on Instagram, and you'll find that in the handout too. Next step, be consistent. Now, committing to a regular and consistent time to publish your YouTube videos is important for a few reasons, and not least because YouTube really values and puts a lot of weight on consistency and regularity. It likes to see creators uploading video regularly and consistently, ideally on a set day and at a set time each week. But more than that, it's important for your audience. So as people get to know your content, they become involved with you and your brand. And people like to know when they can expect to see new content from you. Once you set that expectation, they come to expect it from you, and you feel disappointed if you don't deliver. Now, this may seem like it's a lot to live up to, that you're setting a standard that you might not be able to keep up with. But by committing to YouTube and committing to your audience, you're actually holding yourself accountable, and it starts to really, really mean something to you. It starts to feel really important that you meet those deadlines and that you publish your YouTube video when you said you're going to do it. This is what's going to give you a much better chance of actually doing it, of actually getting those videos out there on a regular and consistent basis. Now, you can use tools like TubeBuddy, which I mentioned, or vidIQ, Morning Fame, which can help you work out for your channel and for your audience, wherever they're based in the world, what the best day and time is to publish your videos. But also make sure that it's a day and a time that works for you as well, and that you're going to be able to do all of the promotion and repurposing of the content that's needed once you published it to get as many views as possible. Now, the second way that you can stay consistent and regular with your YouTube content is to produce a publishing schedule and workflow. Now, I do this for my own YouTube channel, and I do it for all of my clients' YouTube channels as well. And you can see here that this is an example of how it looks. It's as simple as a Google Sheet. And you can see that I've plotted the days that each of my YouTube videos are going to be published. And as we go along the columns, every tiny step, every little tiny thing that's involved in getting that YouTube video planned, produced, repurposed and promoted, it's mapped out along the columns on that spreadsheet. Now, this workflow will really help keep you sane, and it will help you every time you have to publish a new video. Without this kind of roadmap in place, it's really easy to get overwhelmed every time we have to get a piece of content out there. And when we get overwhelmed, what tends to happen is that we end up doing nothing, and then we fall off the wagon. We're no longer consistent with our content. So I find that having this document, this go-to place where you can see exactly what you're doing in the coming weeks and where you're up to with each individual video, it just provides you with such a great peace of mind and a sense of control. Now, where this really comes into its own as well is when you start getting help with your YouTube videos, with your YouTube channel. So it might be that you bring in someone to help with all of the YouTube process, or just different parts of the process, such as maybe the publishing side of things, the promotion, or the repurposing. So for your team members, whether they're in-house or whether you're using a freelancer to help you with different parts of the process, having this one place to go so that they can see where you're up to, you can see where they're up to, and this is where this kind of document really comes into its own. Now, in the handout, I give you access to my free, fully editable workflow template. So it's exactly what I use in my own business and for my clients, and it maps out every single step that I take right from the very beginning of the process when it comes to the planning stages of the video, but then right through from the publishing of the video, the production, the promotion, and all the different steps that I take in the repurposing as well. So it maps out every little step, and it's something that you can take away. You can use it for yourself, for your own YouTube channel, to help you stay on track. Now, my third tip for staying consistent with your YouTube content is to batch your video recordings. There is so much preparation that goes into putting together a YouTube video. So not only do we have all of the content planning, the keyword research and the scripting, for example, but in terms of actually getting that video recorded, we have to sort out our background, we have to get our equipment ready, we have to make sure everything is looking neat and tidy. For some people such as me, that's more of a job than for some others who have really tidy houses, but especially for us women as well. There's makeup, there's hair, there's picking an outfit. There's all of these different things to consider. So if we're going to spend that amount of time getting prepared to actually sit down and record our videos, just one video, it's much more efficient to do that for 2, 3, 4, 5 videos, or even more if you can, than it is to just do it for one video and have to go through that full process again the next time and every time we record a video. Now, of course, this kind of batching does take dedication. It takes a lot of planning and organisation. It is all in the planning. But honestly, once you get into the habit of not just scripting for one video, but scripting for 2 or 3 videos, the feeling of being able to sit down and just record them all in one go, when you're feeling in the zone, when you've got time to yourself, when there's no one else in the house or in the office, you've got everything planned and prepared around you, it's going to give you a much better chance of staying consistent, because you'll know that you have all of your YouTube content sorted for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks. And of course, it's easy then to become complacent and spend the whole of the next month thinking that you don't have to produce any YouTube content because it's all sorted. And then it suddenly gets to a week where you've got nothing to put out there. I have been in that position myself. So my advice would be to put in your diary, set aside a day each month or every 2 weeks, whatever works for you, that's just dedicated to batching your YouTube videos together. So no meetings go in, nothing goes in. It's just going to make it so much more easy for you, but also for your team members as well, if you can batch your video recordings together. So anyone who helps you with any parts of the process, and particularly for your video editor, if your editor can edit all your videos in one batch, not only is it going to make their job easier, but it might also save you some money. I know sometimes video editors do give a discounted rate if they're working on videos that are batched together. Now, my 4th tip for staying consistent actually brings me on to step number 5 in accelerating the growth of your YouTube channel. And that is to consider outsourcing all or parts of the YouTube process. Now, unfortunately, recording your YouTube video is not even 50% probably of what needs to be done to actually get your videos seen. When we're running businesses, when we're dealing with everyday life, family life, etc., a few hours that you really do need to do everything from planning your videos, doing the keyword research, actually recording and publishing the videos, getting the thumbnail created, getting everything through to the repurposing and promotion done. It's a few hours basically. So why not look at the parts of the process that perhaps aren't your strengths? None of us are good at every aspect, and more than likely there is somebody else that could actually do parts of this job much better than perhaps you can, which would then leave you to focus on the things that you really need to do, such as bringing your personality onto the camera, putting your magic sparkle into the video, and being as creative as you can and creating the best quality, consistent content that you can. Not having to do all of the donkey work, the physical creating of the thumbnail, physically uploading the video to YouTube, writing the description, the tags, etc. It would save you so much time, and you'd have so much more creative energy and headspace if it was held over to somebody else, and not to mention the time actually creating those videos, which will actually keep you consistent. So embrace, if you can, the concept of outsourcing all or the parts of your process. It's the growth mindset that will allow you to concentrate on what you do best, creating the video itself. Only you can do that. Running your business, going out there, bringing in new business and meeting clients, for example. Now, I've got a whole Get Outsource Ready checklist, which gives you every step you need to take to make sure you're in the best position to outsource and make the process smooth. Now, you can grab a link to that again in the handout. But let's look at some of the key things that you need to do. So the first thing is to nail your process. So map out every single step you need to take to get your videos optimized, published, repurposed and promoted, everything you need to do. Now I just use a really simple Google spreadsheet. Lots of people like to use tools such as Asana or Trello. They're absolutely great, but I find a simple spreadsheet is fantastic. Next, you can create task sheets or videos, so perhaps short videos talking people through how to do the more trickier, more in-depth steps. So for example, showing someone how to create your email broadcast that goes out to your subscribers, telling them about your new video, or maybe how you repurpose your videos into a blog. So choose whether you use multiple team members or an agency would be the next step. So you can pull in different people with different skill sets, such as a graphic designer to help you with your thumbnails, a VA to help with certain aspects, or someone who can help you optimize the videos, perhaps a copywriter to help you repurpose the videos into a blog post, or a social media expert to help you promote the videos on social media. Or you can choose to use an agency. Now, whichever route you decide will depend entirely on how you like to work. Now, working with an agency, for example, will definitely spare you the hassle of pulling in different skill sets, as they'll already have a team of people in place all ready to help with all of the different aspects, and they'll probably cover the whole end-to-end process. It might be the more expensive option, so it's just for you to kind of look into. But whoever you choose, agree on ways of working together. Decide how you'll communicate. Will you use something like Slack? Will it be email, Facebook Messenger? Don't forget to decide as well on things like what parts of the process do you want to be able to sign off or approve before they go out. Something else to think about is establishing deadlines. So just as you ask whoever you outsource to have everything ready for your deadline, make sure that you meet their deadlines for getting your video to them, and always work together to keep improving. I find once you're into a rhythm, it's easy to keep on doing the same things all of the time. But the fact is that you and whoever you outsource to should always be honing, tweaking and improving. Give feedback to each other and challenge whoever you outsource to keep improving all of the time. Send them examples wherever you can of what you're looking for, and in turn, challenge your own creative process. They can't be better if you're not. So there we have it. 5 steps to accelerate the growth of your YouTube channel. Number 1, research your topics. 2, optimize your videos. 3, repurpose and promote. 4, be consistent. And 5, outsource where you can. I really hope you've enjoyed the talk and that it's been helpful and hopefully inspired you to either start, or if you already have a channel, to really take it to the next level, do everything you can to accelerate the growth of your channel. I really hope you're enjoying the conference. It's been absolutely fantastic so far. Don't forget to go and grab the handout. It's got loads of useful resources in there, and it points you in the direction of lots of videos that take a deeper dive into all of the different aspects that we've talked about today. If you have any questions at all, I am absolutely happy for you to send me an email. It's natalie@hotcontent.co.uk, and just fire any questions that you have my way. I'd be really happy to help in any way I can. And connect with me on Instagram too. That's where I most like to hang out. It's Natalie_hotcontent. Enjoy the rest of Marketed Light and good luck with your YouTube journey.